Yeah. Welcome. Party time. This is it. Welcome to the party. The repo party. $1 trillion. Welcome, everybody. We're celebrating tonight. We're doing a light-hearted party here to talk about the $1 trillion reverse repo. Thank you for making it in. This is amazing. Thank you. We got 61 people in the house. Thank you for joining the party today. Let's have fun. Let's have fun today in this video, in this live video. Thank you for everyone coming in around the world. Welcome to the club. Party every night. That's right. So I thought they were pushing back the moratorium. What happens now? We'll see. I think we're coming up to the wire here. Not sure. August 1st. Yes. Who knows? Okay. We're rich. Yes. If only it was so easy. Maybe the money will go into the Wall Street firms and the banks for the AMC squeeze. No, it just gets recycled back around. It's like a one-day, doesn't get pumped in. It just gets cycled back around. People are asking, what is the repo? I'm going to talk about that momentarily. I know that's very confusing, and don't ever listen to anybody that suggests they know exactly what's happening with the reverse repo or repo operations. It's extremely complicated. The most outspoken, knowledgeable person about it is Zoltan. Zoltan used to work at the desk. He was actually at the desk, and my understanding is he was in a higher level position. He did this, spoke about it. Now he's at Credit Suisse. I emailed him. For those who watched that video, I talked about this. I had emailed him and asked him for an interview, and while it was nice, he did reply to me. He just said that he doesn't do interviews other than with Bloomberg. So for whatever reason, he only does with Bloomberg, but at least I appreciated the fact that he replied to me and told me that, which was nice. But anybody else that claims to know everything that's going on, please ignore them. All right. The markets will go up 100% will go up and up over time, everybody. This is, I think he's in Venezuela. He's in Venezuela, early to the party. Thank you guys for coming on early, actually, today. We got 149 people joining for the party. Get your glow sticks, everybody. Federal Reserve glow sticks, $1 trillion each. Let's do it up. That's a lot of money the banks don't want to lend out. That's right. That's it. All right. What does the reverse repo mean? Okay, so let's get to that. Okay, let's talk about this. Let me refuel. Maybe we'll wait for a few more people to get in here. We got 73 people. I'm going to explain what the reverse repo is, what the repo is in a very simplified process. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. Just wait a few more minutes. Let's get people working. Come on, getting on in here. Saw someone on Webull, said I should come here. Nice. I thought that was a trading platform. I guess there has a place to converse in. I got to check that out, actually, that app. It's got an affiliate program that I might be interested in. I got a 4-minute AMC squeeze wrap video if anyone wants to check it out. Made it to the party. Still rocking with you. Commander Vlogs. Way to go, Fed, as well as all the zombies and sheep like excuse for the human. All right. Are you the real GPS? No, I am not. I am not the real GPS. And I can see that I have already lost the bottom of the chat. This is going to be a fun one. We got 214 people in the room. Thank you all for joining the party. Get your glow sticks. Get 1 trillion of them. Today is the $1 trillion reverse repo operation party time. DQ, the beginning of the end, I said no to taking a bath with my girl just to be in this. Awesome. Yes. Today's a lighthearted day. Hello, Jonathan. It's a lighthearted day. Let's have fun with this. I mean, yes, it's disastrous. I get that, absolutely. But we gotta have fun. We gotta laugh about it, you know? Let's get on in this party. Hey, everyone. Thumbs up. Ain't no party like a repo party. That's right. Repo is an imaginary number. That's right. If you want to believe that. Repo party. North Idaho, Alberta. Show me the repo. That's right. Don't show me the money. Show me the repo. What a great day. Thank you, Federal Reserve. Hi, Dave. The repo man. Great work. Yes, sir. Thank you, Tinker. Thank you for being here again. For he's a jolly good fellow, Jerome. Salutations. Thank you for coming in again. I stumbled here. Chej from Finland. Excellent. It's late there. It is quite late there. Trillion is nothing. We're going to a quadrillion at this rate. Yeah, it's possible. Not necessarily with the repos, but certainly the amount of money that they're going to be on their balance sheet wouldn't surprise me. Party like it's 1999. That's right. Is the repo party just for the Fed? What about all the housing repos started this weekend as the moratoriums? Yes, that's going to be a whole different party, or maybe not so much of a party, but I'm definitely going to be talking about that one. 245 people in the room. Thank you all for joining the $1 trillion repo party today. We're just going to have some fun, okay? Let's be lighthearted today. Let's have some fun. If you want to, of course, dance with me, dance with Janet, dance with Jerome, whatever floats your boat, tonight is the night to do it. The drinks are flowing, espressos all around, espressos on me. All right. Evening GPS, thanks for hosting. Do you think they're going to perform the finishing move with a second lockdown? It might be. I don't think we're quite there yet, but certainly they're going to more restrictions. So that's the first step. That's what happened, right? But like summertime, unlikely. Fall, wintertime, perhaps. What does the $1 trillion repo imply? Yes, Kunal, yes, just wait 1 second. I'm going to talk about that. Everybody that's watching, we're going to talk about what the repo is, what the reverse repo is. I just want to wait for a few more people to get into the room so I don't have to explain it multiple times. I have done many videos about this back in 2019 when it was unfolding. We are coming up on the anniversary of that, because 2 years after the repos happen, then you're allowed to know who actually got the money. Okay, let's talk about that in just a second. 245 people in the house. We have had 600 people here today so far. This is the $1 trillion Fed repo party. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to be silly. We're going to have fun. Let's do this today. All right. What the heck? I got notified on time. Awesome. I think one of the keys to this, for the live anyway, is that I have to do it in advance. So I'm wondering if I should do a premiere on the video of the day, normal video of the day. Maybe that would make it better for notifications. I can always try it. Why do your videos act like the stock market is going to crash 80%? I don't know what that means. So the economy is not the stock market. The economy is not the stock market, and the stock market is not the economy. Do you think the repo situation is inflationary or deflationary? I think that what it is actually, we should be focusing on. Let me get into it in a minute, okay? But essentially, what we're seeing here is the failure of the banking system and the fragility of the markets, okay? So we'll talk more about it in a second. Let me explain it here. All right. You're the first to explain it back in September. Yeah, thank you. I'm not sure if I was. I mean, that's great if I was. A lot of people weren't talking about it. It is very confusing. Like I said, if anybody claims to know everything about it, they are completely wrong. The most knowledgeable person that I'm aware of is Zoltan. He now works for Credit Suisse. He used to work at the desk at the Federal Reserve. And quite frankly, I was covering it every single day to the point where literally I had people stop. They were like, I'm not going to watch you anymore. You keep talking about this. So I was doing a full in-depth analysis every single day, starting from September 17th, 2019, all the way through. And I told you they were expanding their balance sheet and they would say no, and the articles were saying no, and the people were commenting saying it's not true, you're lying. People left the channel because they thought I was lying because the mainstream media was telling them. See, and now we're doing the repo party, guys. Come on, get into the party. Urban Paradise. Awesome. We can do better. Yes, 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 yes. Hit that like button. Hit the like button for the party, the $1 trillion repo party. Get your party on. That's right. Have some fun today, guys. Let's do it. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. All right. How about some Daft Punk? Yes, that would be very, very good at this time. All right. Now I have no idea. Oh my goodness. I think Repo Party. Thanks a trillion. Okay, it is impossible for me to get to all of these. I think I need a moderator. I think it's pretty obvious. I can read them all, but I can't put them on the screen and acknowledge every single one. I'm going to talk about what the repo is, okay? Let's refuel. All right. Okay, we got a super chat. Interruption for the super chat. Susan, thank you very much for the support. I hate to miss the party. Gotta work. Enjoy. Thank you for all your hard work. Hit the like. Yes, thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. But you came into the party. At least you dropped by. At least you dropped by. Thank you for that, Susan. Much appreciated. All right, don't forget to like. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to tell you about the repo and the reverse repo. I talked about this back in 2019. I think it's important for you to understand what the repo is, what the repo is not, and what it means for you. Are you ready to go? We got 300 people in the house. Let's do this. Okay, so you have to understand what's happening today is different than what happened back in 2019 to some degree. We are seeing reverse repo operations. Essentially, what you need to know here is that the banks, okay, let's take a step back. You as an individual, you deposit your money at a commercial bank, okay? Whichever one that is. Just like you do that process, the commercial banks can do the same thing at the Fed. So they can park their cash at the Fed. This is a place for them to take their excess reserves. They put them there. The Federal Reserve determines the rate at which they will be able to get basically some cash back on that, okay? Some income from it, some positive return. This is important because, by the way, this was zero not that long ago. They changed that to be a very, very small percentage. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, 5 basis points or something like this. So now the banks are actually, this is when we went from like the $500 billion range now to the $1 trillion range, and it is expected to go much, much higher than this. The banks, instead of taking that and loaning it out to businesses, instead of taking those reserves that they've got, they're just sitting on cash. Instead of loaning it out and making a considerable amount of money from that, they are taking this and they are putting it with the Fed, earning almost nothing. Almost nothing. But as soon as that small incentive came to be there, just that 5 basis points or whatever it is, this has been turbocharged. Now, I ask the question, why in the world would you want to do this at this time when you could be getting more money from all these clients and potential customers? Just like you have to ask the question, why did Wells Fargo shut down all of their credit lines? I think what's going on here is that we're running into a more risky period. They see the fragility, and wherever there is risk and fragility, there will be a crisis. They see that coming, they're starting to back off. That's part of it. This is a terrible, terrible way to do business in the way that they are today, using the Federal Reserve, which quite frankly does not need to be there. This system does not need to be there for it to work. But yet, here we are. Okay, there is more to the repos. You can look at the repo side. It would be the reverse. Okay, these are reverse repo operations. There's a lot to it. You can type in to a search repo operations Fed, and you will actually get the Federal Reserve's website, and you could read it directly from them. Don't find some YouTuber out there who's going to explain it. You can also type in Zoltan, Zoltan, Credit Suisse, and see what he had to say, because he explains it a little bit complicated, but you're getting it at like as high level as possible. That's the important part. That's what I want to tell you right now, okay? These things right here, there's much more to it. There's a lot of nuances, but if you just understand that, you're going to know what it's all about. I hope that was okay for you. Simple explanation. That's what it means to you. All the intricacies of what's happening may not be of use to, but you need to realize that there is something obviously, worthy of these banks taking risk off the table. You tell me what you think. We've got about 400 people in the room. I want to thank you for this. Hit that like button. We are in the $1 trillion reverse repo party. Thank you all for coming in. If I could have the music and the lights going in the background, that would be awesome. I tried to get a video to play in the background. That doesn't work. But what can you do? This is the party we are at. All right, get the party on. What happens to the dollar sign in the GPS when the currency collapses? Maybe it turns upside down. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Financial system on borrowed time. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Is the U.S. debt creation really hurting the U.S. GDP growth performance? The currency doesn't seem to be affected. Yes, over time. Over time, it has a big impact because the more debt that there is, the lower the growth is. Thank you for being so on point with all your endeavors. Bring on the learning. Thank you, Warren. Thank you for coming on in. What do you think about Daniel? The female. Let me see the economist. Yeah, Daniela DiMartino Booth, I think it is. Yeah, I don't know enough about her, but certainly I should do an interview with her because I have had people ask. Rent moratorium ends July 31st. I know. I mean, is it going to be at the very, very last minute they're going to extend it? We'll see. When will we hit the $2 trillion? Supposedly, I just covered in yesterday's video if you haven't seen it already. Supposedly, if it goes in the same trajectory, 2.5 trillion by the end of this year. 2.5 trillion. Crazy. It's only 1 trillion. It's not like it's only 1 trillion, guys. Come on. September 29th, it was 10 times less. Can you imagine the explosion when this finally lets go? Yeah, it's crazy. Repo party, don't stop. It's amazing that the mainstream media never talks about it because they're trying to sell advertisements, okay? Do you know how difficult it is for me to get sponsors? Do you have any idea how difficult it is? Because people are looking at it like, not really the guy. Not really the guy because he's getting into all those topics. Maybe not. I'm trying to do it. It's difficult, let me tell you. Because the repo party don't stop. Go Blue Jays. All right. Are they playing? We hit 2 trillion by the year end. Definitely could. Hit that like, people. Hello. Insert strobe lights here. Yes, yes. Get your glow sticks, everybody. Party time. Hello from North Carolina. Woohoo. That's right. Hello from New Jersey. The Great Reset might be just a great collapse this time. Maybe the reset, the House of Cards finally burns. We'll see what happens. Moratorium, 31st. Yes, yes, yes. The repo hit 1 trillion. Yes, it did. Hold up the lighter and lights it. Yeah. Excellent. With you on another Friday night. Everybody's in the house right now. We have 400 people in the house right now today. 1,500 people have already joined into the party. This is the $1 trillion reverse repo party, the only one in the world. Remember that. You are part of the only reverse repo party in the world. Yeah, maybe Janet and Jerome are partying it up here. All right. I don't think there's any coincidence that it happened today, July 30th of all days. We'll see. 2 trillion coming by the end of the year. Yes. All right. Let's do it. Happy Trilly Day. Let's get all middle class up in here. Next goal, the $420 trillion. But it's going to get there. Don't worry. While you sleep, they don't in trillion in transactions. David, how much of a risk is this repo? How does it affect the bank stocks? To the bank stocks, I don't think it has much of an impact directly. I think they're trying to risk off. I explained that a moment ago. I know I'm like way behind on the chat, so you may have heard me already. All right. Alex, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your comment there. I don't have an answer for you. I appreciate the support. I think that what we have here is really more about the central banks and their activity. I think that's really important to follow along with what the central banks are doing, looking at them historically and understanding why they do what they do. And of course, it's to have more control. So thank you again for your support. 1 trillion. I want to see charts. Absolutely. Party time. All right. I'm just going through, guys. There's so many comments. There's impossible to get to the bottom. Canada has $2 trillion in debt. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Back for more truth on the daily. Thank you, Ed. Time to celebrate the one and only Jay Powell's excellent and prudent monetary policy that everybody loves. Everybody loves this Federal Reserve right now. Everybody. There's very few of us. If you're in the $1 trillion reverse repo party, maybe we're part of that small minority of people, but I'm telling you right now, everybody out there is singing the tune of the Federal Reserve, how fantastic they have done, I assure you. James, I just saw your super chat coming in. I want to thank you for your support. Excellent. If I scroll down to the super chat, I'm going to lose the whole chat here, so I'm just going to scroll down as gently as I can, but thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Woohoo! How much better can it get? Oh, it only gets better and better. Rent moratoriums. I know this is on everybody's mind right now. This is something I'm going to obviously be covering. There's no doubt about it. All right. In the house from Daytona. Thank you. Thank you. The thumbnail. Yes, yes, yes. I'm trying to do some funny thumbnails and just interesting thumbnails. Get more people to click. Get more people in the house. We got 418 people in the party. Thank you all for coming along. 1,800 people have been here so far. How many people have liked it? How many people? 274 people. Come on, people. Hit that like button. We got to reprogram this algorithm for the Money GPS. We got to all do it together. Dr. Evil Voice. $1 trillion. Yes, 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 yes. Peter, thank you very much. I see your super chat on this screen over here. I just wanted to say thank you very much for your support. If I pull your super chat up, I'm going to lose everybody else. So I just want to say directly, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you everybody for being here tonight. We're trying to have a lighthearted, we're trying to have a little fun with this. They are thinking that they can do whatever they want and it's just going to go unnoticed. But there's a small group of people out there who just want the truth. And I'm glad that you are here today. Thank you all for coming on into the $1 trillion reverse repo party. Remember, this Credit Suisse is a subsidiary of the Central Bank of Europe, controlled by the Rothschilds, who control the Fed. Yes, 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 for sure. Yeah. But the fact that he works there doesn't have any impact on that. The analyst is just saying a few things. But yeah, I know what you're saying. That's a whole lot of zeros. I do agree. Our economy is buying and consuming goods from Walmart and Amazon. Yeah, and believe it or not, 70% of the economy too. The notifications worked. There must have been a glitch in the matrix. Yes, true. What happens with no moratorium? There's going to be a lot of people out on the streets. Well, I mean, of course, it takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight. But we'll see. We'll see. Hi from Florida. Thank you all. Party time like it's 1999. All right. You think Kathy Woods is... I'm a Janet Yellen type of guy, so whatever floats your boat, though. Bankers in the unemployment line, I think, yeah, well, regardless, you're going to look at a lot of, yeah, it's going to be a problem for financial industry for sure. Danielle Carbone, is this the one from Stansberry Research? Is that the woman from? I should do an interview. Maybe they'd interview me. I don't know how that would work. The repo is transparent as mud. Yes. Reverse me want to jump. Yes. Excellent. Alex, here we go. Oops. Alex, When will the stuff hit the fan? Are we talking about the markets? We're talking about the economy? I mean, this right here with the moratorium ending could be a huge thing, could be a huge deal. Although I know we're like right at the edge here, but I would have thought that they would have implemented something by now. This is extremely surprising to me. That is very serious. I think that the reverse repo is getting completely out of control. Like if it just escalates, the Federal Reserve is trying to do something, they can't do it, can't make it happen. That's a wonder that I have. What's going on with Wells Fargo? Why did they have to, drop all the credit lines? It's extremely unusual. Any of these are potential events, derivatives unfolding and so on. Like in terms of the date. Realistically, though, I don't think it would be in the markets. I don't think the chaos is going to be there in this year, personally, at least over the next couple months. It'll take some time for it to unravel. We need to see some big bank failures, big corporate failures. Derivatives have to unwind, and then the party really starts. I think that's kind of the signals. Interest rates, they're gonna remain low in the U.S. at least for the next few months. What happens towards the end of the year, what happens next year, I think that's a different story, because until September, we know low rates are going to be there. And, if they increase them, what are they going to do? 0.25%? So I think we got a little ways to go. That's really the key. Is these super low rates keeping all this garbage happening. Hope that answers your question. Thank you very much for that. And we got another super chat up in here. Let's see. All right, what is a reverse repo and repo operations, and why is it important that they do this? So thank you very much for the question. I did a full explanation of it maybe 10 minutes ago or so. I would highly recommend that you check the video out after this. For anybody watching this right now, if you caught late, if you want to watch this afterwards, all you got to do is go to Twitter or Facebook. Go to my Twitter at the Money GPS or Facebook, and it's going to be there. So it's still on YouTube. But it's unlisted, so you're not going to be able to catch that. I do this because of the algorithm and problems that I've had before, but it will be there for you to check out. So essentially, just long and short of it is that the reverse repo operations are banks taking their reserves and they park them at the Federal Reserve overnight. In doing so, they get a very small return, and this return is mind-boggling to me, because instead of loaning it out to a business and instead of loaning it out to an individual, they're deciding to do this. That to me signals that there is extreme risk and potential volatility in the system today that they don't want any part of. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. I want to thank you for the support as well. Really appreciate that. All right. Great stuff, guys. We got 434 people in the house, in the party today. That's right. You have joined potentially the only $1 trillion reverse repo party in the world happening right now. Think about that. That's crazy. Nobody else would want to celebrate the $1 trillion reverse repo, but you are here, and I want to thank you for that. Hit that like button to let everybody know what's going on, all right? This is the things that people need to understand, all right? For those who just joined the room, my name is The Money GPS. I am here to bring you the real deal. The real deal, that's right, the truth. The truth is what you seek, and that's why you are here. You didn't click on this video for furry kittens. I know that. You wanted the truth. So I thank you and I commend you for being here. All right. Okay. Buy silver. Just tuned in, Gary. Thank you very much for being here. Definitely check out the explanation if you want to see it earlier on. We are partying tonight. We are partying, trying to have a little fun with the $1 trillion reverse repo. Love the work that you do. Keep it up. Any decrease in M1, M2 is transitory? We'll see, yeah. I think so. If you're still on Twitter and Facebook and you haven't been banned, you're not awake enough yet. Hello, just join the party. Thank you, Frank, for being here. Appreciate that. The suspense has been brutal. Yes, trying to get to a trillion. I really, because we were at like 996, 997. It was just an inch away. And then it moved back down. So we got here. All right. It's so cool that you're talking to us one-on-one. I love it that we can ask questions. Well, I appreciate you supporting me with the super chats. I thank you for that. This is what I'm doing is trying to, my hope with this is trying to develop a deeper relationship with my subscribers because quite frankly, the biggest failure of the YouTubers out there is that they do not care about their subscribers. They make it very clear. I was interviewed by a YouTuber that became much bigger than me. He was banned later, and I talked to him about this, the comments, and I said, do you get any like really rude comments or anything? And he says, yeah, I don't even pay attention to that. I don't look at the comments. I don't look at the comments. And then I didn't say anything, but I thought to myself, why would you have a YouTube channel if you're not going to look at the comment section? I get that there's negativity and there might be discouragement and so on, but these are the people that are watching your show. Like, you could do any business you want. If you're on a YouTube channel, you're trying to share something and then you want the feedback from these people. I think that's the most extremely valuable thing that you can have, and you're not doing it. It's weird. To me, that's weird. So I thank you all for being here, right? We got 462 people in the house today. This is the $1 trillion reverse repo party. I want to thank you for all coming in today. Rising inflation is going to weigh down the market going forward. I think it's big. I think this is really big, and it's being understated because all of the analysts, the Bank of America. So you got the Bank of America Fund Manager Survey. We're talking about big guys, okay? We're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars being managed here, and they have all agreed pretty much that there is going to be this transitory inflation. Is some of the stuff transitory? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I'm sure it is. However, think about it for a second here. All of the food that you have purchased for years and years and years, you've been buying the same Cheerios for 25 years. You've been buying the same canned soup for 25 years. Has it ever gone down? Has it ever gone? I mean, come on. Has it ever gone down? No. It doesn't go down. Yes, you look at your gasoline and the price will go up for a bit and then it'll come down for a bit. But on average, it's moving up. There are periods of time when things get out of whack. Oh, I remember when I was 6 years old and the gas prices were higher and this. Come on. Don't pigeonhole these things. It's silly when I see that type of stuff. We've got to be mature about this situation and realize who is doing this. Who is doing, Yes, there are supply chain issues. Yes, there are bottlenecks. Yes, there are problems all along the way. I get that. But underlying all of this, there's a group that is intentionally creating inflation. They tell you. Ben Bernanke, back in 2002, in his famous speech, he said, which was called, by the way, deflation, making sure it doesn't happen or doesn't happen here. He said, we will do these things to make sure it doesn't happen. And one of those things was we will devalue the US dollar by 40%. He was referencing a previous example where they did this, and they'll do it again. They will do it again. He was literally saying, we will do that again if that's what it takes to avoid deflation. You tell me. You tell me. My wife's favorite question, who is they? I don't know who you're referring to. So I'm talking about the central banks, if that's what you were referencing there. Hey, Money GPS, did you buy 7 shares of Amazon yet? Well, I don't talk about what I do personally, but I would say if you want to be diversified, if you want a true diversified portfolio, it contains 7 components, okay? 7 components right here. And all 7 of those are shares of Amazon. How does that sound? That's what it is. It's a fully diversified portfolio because you have all 7. And then you will be going to space with Jeff Bezos because he also has the 7 shares too, right? It's just the way it is. All right. In 2011, me and my brother bought $8,000 worth of long-term food storage, 30-year shelf life. I calculated by inflation what I would charge online today. $8,000 comes close to $30,000. You see that right there? Now, let's use this example of James. Is he going to eat that food? Maybe. Maybe not. But he just bought an insurance policy, and based on that, he's good for a while. Okay? He bought an insurance policy that he's going to be able to eat for a long period of time. $8,000 worth. For an insurance policy, that's worth a heck of, yes, $30,000 today, but if suddenly the store shelves were empty, I would say that that would be a very different price, right? So good on you for doing that. I respect everybody who makes preparations. Now, some people go all out. Some people do, just the basics. Whatever you can do, do it. If you grow a garden, if you've got containers growing on your balcony, wherever you are, you got limited space, do it, make it happen. Right? Make it happen. If you want to grow indoors, you can grow a little bit. You can grow some herbs indoors with an aero garden. You can use that system. It's not going to change the world, certainly, but anything is better than nothing. And also, there are, by the way, if you don't have space, look up, I guarantee you look up your city, you type it in, all right, maybe you're in New York or whatever, wherever you are, New York Community Garden. You're going to get a huge list of community gardens. They're not perfect, they're not absolute, but you know what? People are generally good there. Okay, it depends on your area, of course. Honestly, I'm scared about the financial collapse. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. I would just make my preparations today, do what you can, have a secondary source of income that does not rely on your geographical location, and you will do good. I'm going to be creating a course that's going to be available in the coming months. I'm working on this with a friend, business partner, and a consultant of mine that is basically going to help people tentatively being called the Money GPS Launchpad. And essentially the goal is take somebody from zero and help them to build a business through this course, giving you all the tools that you need, giving you all the knowledge that you need, where you got to go, who do you got to advertise to, how to do it for free. All of these things will be discussed in the future. So I'm going to try to help people, because that's one of the things that I see people that, they know how to prepare, they know how to get the storable food and so on. That simple things, because that was history, right? Our grandparents and their grandparents, they grew gardens, they had their own farms maybe, and things have really changed since. But in terms of making income, that's the difficult part for a lot of people, and that's what I'm going to share. Hope you appreciate that. All right. By the way, guys, I've completely lost. There's been like a million comments. I haven't not been able to catch up. I'm trying. You're the only one that tells the truth. Thank you, Mark. I tried to tell the truth. I don't know if I'm necessarily the only one, but certainly I've been trying this for 10 years now. This is the Money GPS 10 years here, trying to bring out the information. And I thank you for being with me throughout the period, however long you've been here for, whether it's been 2 weeks or whether it's been 10 years. I know some people have been with me basically since the beginning, which is fantastic. So I want to thank you for that. And I want to thank you for also, I know people have their wives or whatever, they show the videos to them and they think that I'm as crazy as everybody else. So, that's excellent. That's all I'll say. we gotta have some fun with this, right? I mean, we gotta have fun. That's what it's about. It's serious information, but at the same time, we have to also make it a little bit lighthearted too. I try to be, add in a little bit of sarcasm occasionally, just to have fun with it. It's so serious and it's so important. I do agree with that, but there's also a time to have some fun. Since 2015, cheers. 9 years, amazing. Since 2015, 2013, beautiful. You have all the facts. George Gammon, all right, good stuff. I know a lot of people like George Gammon. Balance is important. Yes. You gotta be a little crazy to tell the truth. That's right. It is true. When you started saying you came here for the truth, slowly I pictured you thinking, doesn't sound like serious financial. It's much better fast. You talk too much without making a point. All right, that's good. You don't want to make points, right? It's great. I think people they have an interpretation of somebody before they even open their mouth. 2019, 2018, we demand more rent GPS. You see this? I want everybody to note this. This is the problem with social media. See, you got somebody who loves it. Okay? We need more rent GPS. And then you got this guy who says, you talk too much without making a point. And that's why you can't make everybody happy, right? And of course, I don't intend on doing so. Anyway, we got 446 people in the house. Thank you all for joining the $1 trillion repo party. Let me be very brief. What's going on here today? We see the financial system that is failing. This is a problem because of the central banks and their activities. They bring down the interest rates super low, and that then creates instability because you can't have super low interest rates for a long period of time. Other than this little blip around 2018 where interest rates hit like 2.5% for a short period of time, interest rates have been low since 2008, 2009 timeframe. And it's just been, flatlined at zero this entire time. Now, in doing so, you create this risk on mentality. Oh, that's okay. Everything's fine. Look. We're managing the debt. It's not a problem. Do you see imbalances like in 2008? No. So everything is fine. But of course, that's not how it works, because the more debt you have, the bigger the problem eventually that comes around. This is documented over and over again. And the more debt you put into the system, the less growth you get out. That is an absolute fact. You can't get by on debt. You need real stuff. Do you understand? If you want an economy to grow, you have to make things. You have to sell things. You have to buy things. It has to move. It has to move. You can't buy mortgage-backed securities and expect it to do good. Do you get it? You see what's going on up in here? If I could only give you the download, if I could just send that to you, it would probably help out. All right. Heck yeah, party. I remember when you had under 20,000 subs. You're the best. Thank you. The growth had accelerated at a period of time, and now it is just completely flat. In fact, some days I lose subscribers, which is hilarious. But I don't do it for the subscribers. I'm doing this, quite frankly. I have to do this. I can't not do it. Great format. Canada is brutal. Any thoughts on Canada? I have a plan, but it's brutal. So what I would say about Canada is that they have right now, they got a lot of problems because of their heavy reliance on real estate. That is a problem. Long term, though, Canada has a very nice advantage, and that is it's got the biggest freshwater reserves in the world, from what I understand. And if it's not the number one, it's in the top regardless how you look at it, which is fantastic long term. Whether or not they're going to sell that off, we'll see what happens. There are many structural issues in Canada, but I just think that's fantastic, because that's something that is difficult. It's a difficult resource to get otherwise. Some places that they're struggling with no water. Look at the droughts and everything. These mega droughts, I believe, are going to cause a huge problem with the prices and just availability of food and things like that. So you never want to see that. It's been about 24 hours since you announced the GPS launchpad. Where is it? You had all day. That's funny. I'm trying to bring that out. I promise you. I'm working with a partner on this one, and we're going to bring this out. It's going to be fantastic. I'm telling you, because I don't do anything half what. I brought out the Amazon GPS 2 years ago now, and that course there, people don't understand. I know some people don't care about Amazon and so on. That's fine. But what I'm offering in that for free is what people would charge so much money for. You have no idea. It's insane. I haven't updated it since 2019, but I assure you it is still very relevant. Maybe the screens inside of Amazon have changed a little bit or whatever, but I assure you it is still very relevant. All right. I was here waiting before the internet came up. That's good. Excellent. All right. I'm off to sleep. Got to work at 4 a.m. Oh, wow. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on in. Appreciate that. All right. All right. We got more financial advice going on in here. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. He paints a picture. What more could you want? Thank you, Paul. Yeah, people. Well, I think ultimately what people want, they want tickers. If you look at the channels that have done really well, like the financial channels, I don't know if you want to call them that. Anyway, these groups here, what they do is the guy has a piece of paper and he reads and he says, oh, look at what Tesla stock did today. I'm buying some Tesla stock. It's going to go fantastic. Things amazing. Oh, it's so fantastic. 1 million robo taxis by 2020. Oh, it's amazing. All right. Now like the next stock. Yeah. This is the ETF I'm buying. Oh, wow. It's amazing. And they're just cheerleaders. They get so many subscribers, so many views. They get all the sponsors. They're making so much money. You have no idea, off of the affiliates, off of the sponsors, and off of the views. And meanwhile, I'm here trying to tell people the truth, and the channel is just flatlined. And you know, whatever. It's okay. I'm just like, I just want people to know that this is good information. I promise you. And I am trying to make the channel better in every way I can. Just little tweaks here and there. Like, for example, I shortened the introduction. I created the Money GPS Insights portion of the video because a lot of people were saying, okay, I get it, but what do I do with it? So every time I write the Money GPS Insights into a video, I pre-plan that out, and I'm basically writing down, okay, what can we have a key takeaway from, which is usually the third point of the Money GPS Insights. So I think it's important for people. And then I put it in the actual comment section of that video. So if you want to just read the insights, hey, that's up to you. You can do that. More. Party. Can you email the live show like you do with the daily video? I don't want to annoy people with 2 emails a day. That's the only problem with it. I'm thinking about, I don't know if anybody has any knowledge about this, but I was thinking about creating an app. Somebody had mentioned this. Why don't you create an app so that it could notify people in the app? And then it's up to you to turn like which do I want to be notified about the live video? Do I want to be notified about the daily video? And then you could kind of select that. So I'm thinking about it. I did a quick Google, and I don't think it's possible for me to kind of create one on my own with the basic knowledge that I have. So if anybody has an experience or anything around that, I don't have any money to invest in it. That's the only problem. So if anybody knows how to create an app like Simply, that would be great. If you have any information, you know. All right. Good stuff, guys. I'm trying to read through the comments. There's about 10 million comments right here, so I'm trying. Canada. All right. Thank you for talking about my comment. I love these live chats. Really fantastic. Thanks, James. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get to as many people as I can. It's literally impossible to get to all of them. Okay. I'm going through, hey, can you talk about this repo, my friend? Zach, I don't know if you were here earlier in the chat. If not, I did cover it previously. The way to see my full explanation is to go to earlier in this video. If you can scroll back, if it doesn't let you, what you do is you go to my Twitter or to my Facebook, and the link will be there after we leave today. Essentially, what you're looking at, the repo operations, in this case, the reverse repo operations. The long and short of it is that the banks could be parking their money. What they do is they park their money at the Federal Reserve, just like you would park your money at the bank, like savings, right? But instead, the banks could be loaning that money to a business or a person, but no, they would rather put it at the Federal Reserve, earning almost nothing. What does that tell you about the risk that they see with the markets and the financial system and everything right now? That's what the repo is all about. Reverse repo is all about. Peter Schiff, yeah. Somebody had messaged him on Twitter. On Twitter. And then I kind of replied to that message on Twitter, but I'm sure he gets a million messages on Twitter. I got to find out how to email him personally. I'm sure he has an assistant or something. Negative interest rates. Let's talk about that briefly. I don't think that they will do this. Anything is possible, of course, but I don't think they will do this. I think that what they are doing today is more likely to print money. They're going to go that route because when they print money, they can control more of the assets. That's really what this is all about. They want to, people think okay, the financial system's failing and the central banks are there to prop it up. They want to hold it up. No. We want to support the system. We're the crutch. But in actual fact, what's happening is think about the central banks. If this is a movie and they were the bad guys, okay, what would they do? Well, they would try to deceive you first. They would claim that they are the good guys, and they would say, hey, come into the car with me. Come in here. Let's go into the unmarked van. Let's have a walk. Let's go. And so they are basically consuming all the assets. They can consume the garbage ones at first. Don't you remember this? Back in 2008, they used to call these mortgage-backed securities toxic assets. What happened to that? Does anybody remember that? Put it in the comments, please. Toxic assets. Think about that. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all of this. The government started taking those on trillions of dollars of garbage, basically being consumed by the government, by you, the taxpayer. And then that was all toxic assets. So the Federal Reserve's taking that off our hands. That's great, because then the financial system won't be affected by that. Absolutely, please do so. Now today, it's this is fantastic. They're buying up everything. This is great. They're my friends. That's what people think, especially in the financial industry. The Federal Reserve, they're fantastic. Let's see. Toxic assets, anybody? Yep, I do. What are the first 5 things that you would do for your mom? She became a millionaire overnight. So if suddenly you've got a lot of money, I would probably want to own a bit of everything, multi-millionaire. I would definitely want to own some multifamily residential property in an area where I'm seeing a lot of jobs coming into. Definitely that in sort of the A-level property, not like the C-level property, because that I think will be a problem. I want to look historically at the building, and I want to see what are the vacancy rates here and what were they if the building existed back during the financial crisis. What was the vacancy rate then, and what was the vacancy, if you look through the peaks, what was the vacancy rate around the peaks of all the problems and so on, okay? That's one thing. I would want to have precious metals, there's no doubt about it, and I would want to have some sort of business that operates online, that operates completely outside of the current geographical problems and also that sells products or services to all over the world, because I don't want to rely on one particular country. So that would definitely be part of it. There's no harm in having, if you want the cryptocurrencies, I think some exposure to it is probably better than not having some exposure. But a lot of people in my opinion, have gone far too into it. I think it's too much because of the uncertainty during a risk-off event. That's what we got to worry about. Risk off, you might have a huge deflationary pull. So hope that answers your question. All right. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Thank you for the information by Theta Crypto. Yes, I've heard about this many times before. There are so many new cryptos coming all the time. And the thing is that, at least in terms of what we can see, so many of them have many useful functions and many good things that I believe will come out of this over the long term. Right now, we'll see. I think we got a long way to go, not specifically with this crypto, but just in general. I think it's still far away from like to achieve the goals of what we want. But to be able to do without a middleman is a absolutely fantastic goal to have. And maybe we can get close. CDOs, yes. The toxic assets, that's right. All right. What's going to happen to me? I don't know, but I hope that you just get prepared. You spend every single day learning a little bit. I'm doing my part. I'm creating stuff on, as you can see right here, Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. And you go to those places and you learn a little bit every single day. In addition to my videos, you start reading the history, you realize the patterns, how they change, and you do what you can in your own environment, whether that is growing your own food a little bit. And if you have a portfolio, you readjust your portfolio to be appropriate for the current times. All right. I lost the chat. What else is new? I have a lot of money, but no property. Are you saying you have gold and silver? Is that what you're trying to reference? Or you have a lot of cash? Property has its ups and downs. There's no doubt about it. It's got its pros and cons. It's what's for dinner. Toxic assets. That's right, Craig. Okay, I'm going through these here. We have been in this chat for 1 hour. No, it's not a chat, okay? This is a party. This is the $1 trillion reverse repo party. Get it on, dance it up, have some fun today. Today's the day to have fun. What is it? It's Friday? Awesome, it's perfect. This is when we go to the party. We got the party going on in the back right here, dancing it up, having a little fun with this. There have been nearly 5,000 people that have come and gone. We have 415 people in here. Hit that like button because only 500 people have hit that like button today. So hit that like, support the channel. That's what you got to do. You got to click the like button. If you share it with your friend, that's why I'm creating this stuff on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all that, because there are like shareable stuff that you don't mind sharing with other people. Maybe you're a little cautious. I'm not going to send this guy a 15-minute video, but maybe I'll send him this funny picture that's about money, about inflation, about something else. So that's why I'm creating that content on all of those platforms. So whatever that platform is, whatever your favorite one is, you just search for the Money GPS and you will find me. Got here late, but wow, one repo trillion dollar repo has occurred. This is getting interesting. Yes, Daniel, it has. And we're moving into this crazy time right now. $1 trillion reverse repo. I mean, where is it going to go? Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the stream. Love your content. Appreciate that. 450 people here for the truth. Multimillionaires have access to credit. You maintain your balance and use other people's money to buy assets you can trade for silver. It's K-shaped. Yeah, the recovery is K-shaped. When will the repos stop? Can you make a guess? At this point, no. I have no knowledge of when these reverse repos are going to stop. For the time being, it's probably just going to increase or just continue the way it is. It looks like it's probably going to increase. Many have said it will go above. I believe it was Zoltan that said he believes it will go to the $2 trillion mark. So we'll be double what we have today. I think it's a risk-off kind of position, which maybe you could say is a good thing in a way because they're not taking extreme risk. They're deciding to park their money at the Federal Reserve instead. That's what I think. But anyway, we'll see. Reverse repo party. Buy champagne. The Fed is buying. Yes. All right. Jamal, peace out. It's taken off. Thank you very much for coming on in. All right. Good stuff. Rice, beans, lentils, water, and cans. Luke, yes. Luke, thank you for coming back, by the way. I hope you looked into what we talked about a few days ago. I have to get a link on there to my book, to the books. I changed the website, like the template and everything, and I will put the books back. I'll just give you one book. Let me think of what's a good book. If you want a really simple book, honestly, they're two simple books. I think everybody should read these, even though these are like the super basic. Freakonomics and Super Freakonomics. Both of them, they're basically the same. I would read them. You get very little out of it, I think, in terms of like historical data and all that. But what it tells you is that there are these incentives. Like, why do actions and activities and these events that we've had take place? Why? It's because of incentives. So if you drop interest rates down to zero, that gives people the incentive. What is that incentive? Well, maybe now they're going to start to gamble more. They're going to feel a little bit like a risk taker and so on, right? So that's the point. There are thumbs down. Guys, this is amazing. Thank you for those. Thumbs down and thumbs up, by the way, for anybody that thinks they're trying to, like, I don't know, do something bad to a channel. You're actually supporting the channel because they are equal. They are equal. All right. Good question. Two trillion will be crazy, but that's what is happening behind the scenes. Liquidity is tanking. Yes. Creature from Jekyll Island. Incredible book. You more likes than watchers. Well, because people came in and out. So there's actually been over 5,000 people that have been in here. Some people just come in for 5 minutes, some people for an hour, some people for how long. So thank you for that, though. Economics in One Lesson. Is that a book? 400 on a live stream is huge. Okay, I didn't know that. Janet's gonna come on. Janet is not for your eyes, okay? Yes. Creature from Jekyll. And the funny thing is, when you read The Creature from Jekyll Island, you think it's going to be all about the creation of the Federal Reserve. And then you get to a certain point, and then it just goes so much deeper, and you're just blown away. I mean, I remember, like, I was going into the book thinking, I'm going to learn all about the creation of the Fed. And you learn all about it, like, so in depth. And maybe like 30% of the way through, it just goes off into like these new territories, and you're just like, this is insane. You can't unlearn that book. I'm telling you right now. Something like a Freakonomics, Super Freakonomics, you can forget a lot about it, right? Like today, what do I remember from it? But something like Creature from Jekyll Island, it just, wow. It's been many years, but Jen is not for your. Hello. Thank you for coming in again. What's going on? Hi, Sarah. Okay, so earlier in the video, I talked more about it, but just let me give a breakdown for everybody here in the room just joining in now. We're going to talk about the reverse repo operations. This is my fun little take on the reverse repo operations. What does it all mean? Okay, really quickly. You as an individual, you take your money to your commercial bank and you deposit it in the bank. Just like you do that, the commercial banks, they can do that with the Federal Reserve. So they can park their excess reserves at the Federal Reserve. Now, why would they do this? The whole point is, why would they do this when they could be loaning the money out to an entrepreneur who wants to do some business? Why wouldn't they loan it out to an individual who needs a personal loan? And instead, they're going to go off and they're going to get basically nothing. The return that they're going to get from putting it at the Fed is almost nothing. Now, to me, this tells me that these banks are worried about excess risk today, so they're kind of backing up. It's very much in line with what you're seeing with Wells Fargo closing down all the credit lines in this hugely, in my opinion, unprecedented move. And I think that these two just show you that the banks in general are a little bit concerned. They're starting to take their pedal off the metal to some degree, to some degree. Okay, I hope that's like a super simple explanation. I went in more depth earlier here in this live chat, but I think that it's really important to see this going over $1 trillion. It's important. Sean, I've always appreciated your content. It really took my knowledge to a new level. Thank you. I'm glad that people are willing to actually listen to me, to hear about this stuff, because quite frankly, it's not for everybody. A lot of the channels that did really, really well, they talk about ticker, like which ticker you should buy and things. And I don't need to tell you that, and you don't need to hear that from me. If you're like, so I'm also, I post videos on TikTok as well. And I don't know if they're bots or what. I don't think it's bots, but I get replies from people, comments on my video saying, okay, like, hey bro, which stock should I buy? Do you have any stock recommendations and things? And I could imagine that this is going on in the YouTube comments, and it's going on these videos that people are getting advice, financial advice from. And it's just so bad. It's just so terrible. I mean, terrible. I mean, man, oh man. You deserve only thumbs up. Thanks, thanks, thanks. All right. 1 trillion, yes. All right. What is the solution? Are we talking about the reverse repo operations and so on? I think it's all about having a whole risk off mentality right now. I think that everybody should be deleveraging, the individuals, the corporations, and the government itself. We should have a reduced amount of spending overall. Yes, that means a slowing economy, but what that also means is that you're not going to have a devastating crisis that's going to put millions of people out of work. Okay? But people, they like oh, everything's great, everything's so fantastic, and then next thing you know, bam, just slammed to the ground, power bombed. To me, not good, not good. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Worst investing mistake. My worst one? Well, I could say that probably writing my book, like in terms of dollar, like time to dollars, my book, my first book. Because it took me 1 year and 3 months to write. And ultimately you get, well, I get, published through Amazon, I get $4 per book. So it was probably the worst financial decision. I'm glad in a sense, I'm glad I wrote it, because that's the book I wanted to read. Like 15 years ago, I'm starting to read all this stuff. I'm learning, and I'm like, where's the beginning? Like, can I just have like the beginning of all of this? Can I learn about like what's a central bank? Okay, so you're reading like these financial books, and you're getting through them, and okay, Federal Reserve, okay, I got that. And then you're like looking up, like you're constantly like looking up stuff. What is this? What is this thing? What does the central bank do exactly? Like, when you're just starting, and then you hear things, and you kind of have a general sense, but no, that's not good enough when you really want to understand at a deeper level. So this was the book that I wanted to read, because it gives you that foundation. Financially, terrible investment of my time. But seriously, which stock should be buy? I hope that's it. You guys worry too much. You just need to know the market will go higher. You see? Buy anything, guys. Buy any stock, and it's gonna go higher. You just need to buy anything. So you will not buy AMC stock. I don't want to touch any stock that has hype around it. I don't want to buy anything that has too much hype. When people start talking about it, now's the time. Look, perfect example. Bitcoin was at $60,000, and it was kind of within that range for a little while. Bitcoin was everywhere. I was hearing about Bitcoin from people who don't know anything about Bitcoin, and they were telling, "Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear?" Why? Because they were getting it in the mainstream news. I'm talking about not the financial news, like what they're reading, because that's starting to come up, and it talks about the froth, right? That shows you the froth at that particular time. And look what happened. The market came down after that. Now it can turbocharge way past where it was before, but that's how you get that signal. And it seems, I mean, when Bitcoin was at 60,000, it rose to whatever it was, 65,000 or so. Like in that period of time, it seemed impossible for it to go down. The most likely move for many people is 100,000. But what happened instead was that it dropped down to 30,000. Okay, so it just shows you what kind of anecdotal indicators that you should be paying attention to when it comes to different assets. You can look at GME, you can look at AMC, you can look at all these different stocks, and they might go higher. But I like boring stuff. The more boring it is, generally, the more I like it. I like my books to be boring. If you want to be bored, read Murray and Rothbard, America's Great Depression. One of the most boring books you will ever read. I promise you. I fell asleep with the book in my hand, just knocked unconscious. But it was so informative. I learned so much from that book. It's not entertaining, I'll tell you that, but I learned a heck of a lot. Have you read the Ponzi Factor book? No, I have not. Right now, I'm actually listening to the audiobook version of Principles by Ray Dalio. And I think it's good. I'm not in, like, I don't agree with him, but I think it's a good book. I listen to audiobooks. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I've been listening to audiobooks for 15 years, and seminars and all these things, and reading books as well. But when you only look at the stuff that you really like and you know you're going to agree with, I would say almost like you're wasting time. You should kind of read things that are on the edge of where you like. You don't have to read necessarily a complete opposing view, but certainly at that edge. And you can, I kind of agree with him there. Like, for example, I'm listening to Dalio, and he's got things that he says that I don't agree with, but I also agree with some other things he says. So I'll take what I can from it. The Money GPS Global Economic Class is a great read. Yes, yes, yes. There, sending you $1. No, but that was a much smaller book, but it fills in the gaps of the first book. Not that it has gaps necessarily, but it's kind of like a follow-up, and together they make this really good synergy. So if you read both books, then you totally got it. I'm telling you right now, if you read those two books, I promise you, more than 90% of the people in the general financial industry. How long? We've been going on for an hour and 12 minutes. Can you believe this? This is a party, though. Let's do this all the way until 5 a.m. All right. Last call, though. This is last call. Yeah. All right. Are you going to do this next week and they hit 2 trillion? Yeah. So let's call it right now. $2 trillion reverse repo party when it happens. All right. We got to do that. $2 trillion. 100%. What about those that amass wealth that words don't exist? A trillionaire is not a thing yet. Should it be? Yeah, I mean, like, why not? Why shouldn't everybody be a trillionaire? I think the problem is that stuff, like, forget about who has what. Like, I don't care if Jeff Bezos has a spaceship, and I don't care if Jeff Bezos has $200 billion. What I care about is, why is a house costing $1 million? It's not because Jeff Bezos has $200 billion. Couldn't care less about him. I really don't care. If I buy something through Amazon, he's indirectly benefiting from it, maybe, but I don't care. What I care about, the lens that I view everything from, is why do things cost so much money? There is no reason anybody can give me that a home should cost $1 million, $2 million plus in a generic household, General piece of land, nothing special, kind of old, run down in a major city. What about food prices rising astronomically when there's, you can grow, there's so much land. There's so much land to be growing food. There are all kinds of things. Those are just examples, but I'm just trying to say. Great point of view. Thank you. Technically, gold is a better conductor than silver, but cost prohibitive, obvious reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of different things out there. Everything has its benefits. If I can get Janet Yellen, if I can somehow get Janet Yellen onto the program, I would love that. I would love that. That would be fantastic. Imagine she would have no idea. So Janet, what did you what did you think about destroying the financial system and stealing the wealth from everybody? A garage with a small lot in Toronto costs $1 million. Yes, this is my point. There's no reason for that. There's no reason other than euphoria and mania and the fear of missing out. The same thing happens in the stock markets. The same thing happens in the crypto markets. It's going on everywhere. It'll never come down. It'll never come down. Never say never. Never say never. Okay, I got to get out of here pretty soon. I know I say that, but Janet Yellen is smarter than anyone here. She's probably smarter than me. I don't deny that. She's probably a very smart lady. I don't know what smart has to do with it though. Like if you understand, people see, I don't know if you were kidding me around though, but I don't think people understand this. It's like, why are they doing what they do? And people think, well, they're doing what they do because they want to prop up the system. They want to see a collapse. If you believe that's the case, unfortunately, no. Everything we think we know here, the Fed knows it already. Well, yeah, I agree. Okay. What role does interest rates on mortgages play in the cost of housing? Well, there's no question about it, but because interest rates are so crazy low today, it's allowing people to get into a home that normally they wouldn't be able to afford. It's all about the monthly payment. It's not the total amount of debt. It's about the monthly payment. So if your interest rate is 3%, you're going to be able to borrow a lot of money, and you can have a relatively decent salary. Two people in the household have decent salaries. They can afford a huge debt load because of the interest rate being very low. If that interest rate rises, it doubles or what have you, it's a totally different story. Totally different story. Of course, that affects people who have to refinance. If you're in places like Canada, for instance, where you're going to get that fixed rate mortgage at 3 years, maybe 5 years, totally different story, right? What's a market crash? Yeah, Mario, that's a good question. I have a lot of people, they've never seen one. David, you are a great asset to the community. Never stop. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. South Park fan in here. All right. They don't understand Austrian economics. Well, yeah, like the central bankers. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, they don't want to deal with that because that constrains them, right? It would have to, sound money and so on would be a constraint to them. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your support. The Federal Reserve and the CDC serve the citizens no better than the post office. Yes. Generally, the bigger the institutions get, the worse off they are for the people. That is, in fact, why they're that's why they have been created in the first place. I think it's pretty obvious. I don't have too much to say about that, but certainly, like, you look at the Federal Reserve, why it was created, who was at the table in the Federal Reserve. If you read The Creature from Jekyll Island, you get a good sense of what that's all about. excuse me, what that's all about. So I think you'll I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. Peter, thank you, David. I appreciate your work. We seek the truth. That's awesome. Some people love the truth, and I appreciate that, because some people just want to have their heads in the sand, and that's the majority of people, right? That's the way it is. Shrinkage in food products, yes, yes, yes. The shrinkflation is real, people. Shrinkflation. I'm not done talking about it. I'm going to be bringing more videos about that. People don't care, but I know some people do. So I thank you for being here. We have 427 people in the house. I'm going to end the video off shortly. I'm just going to get to the super chat right here. 6,300 people have been in here and out of here. I want to thank you for being here for the $1 trillion reverse repo operation party, the only reverse repo operation party in the world going on right now. I want to thank you for being here. We're trying to have a little bit of fun with this. All right, James, thank you very much for your support. All intelligence with no wisdom leads to the same dumb decisions of people who lack intelligence. Thank you, Money GPS, longtime subscriber. Thank you very much for that support. I think we need to understand that, we don't know everything, and that's why we need to be a little bit more humble. That's the thing. Like, when you look at these people on TV, when you look at even these YouTubers now that have really gained a lot of notoriety, and they're getting attention from the actual mainstream media, they're being brought onto the show and stuff. And I just think to people that get a sense of what we're dealing with today, and it's much, much bigger than ticker symbols and nonsense. Okay, there's much more going on. Awesome. Darby, thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here today with the thumbs up and everything. I really appreciate that. Awesome. Just got your book off of Amazon, my man. Thank you, Brando. Thank you. I really worked hard on those books. 2012 was the first one. Exactly 5 years later, 2017, released the second one. I think it's, I think they're great. For some people, maybe they're a little bit too simple. Like, I even did cartoons and stuff, because that's the type of thing. Like, I want you to just have that. No, you don't have any questions after that. You've got the basic understanding. It's done. It's in there. And then you build off of that. Shrinkflation, I thought it was just that's what she said. Is that appropriate? Can I say that? Thank you, Bernard. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you for hosting. I appreciate you coming on in. Great live stream. Is better to laugh than to cry. Yes. Like, how the Money GPS is serious stuff, obviously, right? Like, but I try to interject a little bit of humor in there when I can, when it's appropriate. I try to just be a little bit lighthearted. Like, we're having fun here right now. I mean, let's be honest. This is crazy, but it's fun. It's fun. I love the community and comments and opinions from the people who actually pay attention. That's right. That's right. Thanks for all the work. Will the $1 trillion repo happen again tonight? That's a good question. 1:15. So if you do a search for reverse repo Fed, and then one of the first links that comes up on your search will be the actual page at 1:15 p.m. Monday, or if there's a holiday on Monday, I don't know, but it'll be Tuesday maybe, or Monday, whenever the markets open next, and that's when you'll see the next repo operation. Excuse me. Weren't you a former stand-up? I don't think I'm funny enough to be a stand-up comedian. That's for sure. What's the deal with airline peanuts? All right. Do you think net worth percentiles are accurate on, say? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Is that a Reddit? Is that from Reddit or something? But I don't even worry about that stuff. I know that, you know, there's certain groups of people, certain families that have been there for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years that have been able to keep their wealth in, and they're nowhere on the Forbes richest list and all this stuff. So I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest. But I'm not sure what that references. Okay, I'm new here. What's a reverse repo? I talked about this earlier. Just to make it really simple, everybody, reverse repo operation. These commercial banks are parking their money at the Federal Reserve instead of loaning it out to people, instead of loaning it out to businesses. And in my opinion, that means they want to take risk off the table. Is it time to sell my 7 shares of Amazon? How would you ever be diversified if you didn't have 7 shares of Amazon? That's the whole, if you look at the pie chart of a diversified portfolio, you would see 7 different spots, 7 pieces of pie, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shares of Amazon. Come on, guys, be serious for a minute. Come on. All right. Okay, guys, I'm going to take off. I'm going to start working on the video of the day. So here we go. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today at the $1 trillion reverse repo party, the only one in the world, and you were here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. So tune in tomorrow. Oh, by the way, if anybody wants to get this live stream at any point, because I'm going to make this unlisted after. So what you can do is you go to the Twitter or you go to the Facebook and you will still see it there. I'm making it unlisted. I'm not making it disappear, but it's gonna be unlisted. So you won't be able to see it on the main channel, but it will be there. You go to the Twitter, go to the Facebook, okay? So that's it. I'm gonna end the video off. Definitely check out the video tomorrow. It's gonna be all about the reverse repo operations and the 1 trillion. So we'll continue on that party. It won't be live, but I hope you'll be there. And oh, we got a no, just no, don't go. I just came back. Thank you, thank you. I gotta go. Unless you have a question or something, because I know you just give the super chats. But I gotta take off. I'm going to be doing the video right now of the day. We're gonna talk obviously a lot about what's happening in the markets, the reverse repos. I'm looking over here on this screen here, and the Dow Jones actually fell below that 35,000, which is pretty big. But you know, ultimately, there's so much cash sloshing around in these markets that it's just fantastic for them. So that's it. So I believe that was it. I don't know if I got banned. I don't know if you wanted to say something else, but I think it's time to take off. Let's see. I'll give you just another second here to come up in case there's a delay in the chat. But I want to thank everybody for being. Oh yeah. So what time tomorrow? Tomorrow, as always, I try to do this at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Hopefully, I know it's too late for some people. It's hard for people like in Europe time frame, but people in like Australia and New Zealand, they can get on because it's morning time. It's hard to do, you know, this is such a global show. So, but all right. Good night. Good night. Thank you very much for that. Have you been interviewed? No, George Gammon, I asked him to interview him and he said he's too busy for me. So unfortunately, he won't. Not going to happen. Hypothetically, would you save as much cash as possible, then buy stocks when the stock market crashes? Yeah, you could. You don't know what's going to happen. There's a lot of uncertainties. I'm going to be doing a video series for everybody watching, and then I'm going to take off here. I'm going to be doing a video series. What should I do with $100? What should I do with, what would I do with $100, with $1,000, 10,000, 100,000, and so on. I think it'll be really helpful for people. I'll put that in a playlist, and then you can, you know, get what you need from that. So that's it. Okay, everybody. Take care. Thank you very much for being here.